I've got a great new product that, 1 in 3 people suffer with skin conditions.
Right.
And find out that people spend years and years, sometimes 20, 30, 40 years, trying to battle these skin conditions. And then, if they're really bad, we want to cover it up because you don't want to expose. And so your self-esteem goes down, and, you're kind of not feeling really comfortable. So if we can help you to be delivered from these kind of conditions, have more confidence, have more self-esteem, right?
Yeah.
And it's very costly because you go to the doctors and you get all the expensive creams, and you go to the health food stores and you go whatever, and you follow all the great advertising, and you try this and you try that, and after years and you hear the great snake oil salesman again, oh, we got something new here, right? And I've come across a product actually that is again, it's being used in
snake
ancient
oil?
times. Not snake oil, no. But
just checking.
yeah, that's okay. That's great. We need to challenge. I always tell people this: questions are the answer. Question everything. Okay,
Yeah.
that's been our problem today. And with the way that the media is used and the subliminal programming, guys, one of the worst things is that we want to be amused. Okay.
Right.
But we need to use this. We need to activate the critical thinking part. And we watch TV, for example, right? We're in the alpha state, and within 4 minutes we're in the beta state, the brainwaves. Very interesting subject. And through the beta state, we get to our subconscious mind. We're just open, boom, 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 being fed this information subliminally, and they get the music and the scenes and everything else. And yeah, pretty soon we bought into it, whether we like it or not. We bought into the ideas.
Right.
Last week, as a matter of fact, they came out and they said, children under 2 should not be exposed to 1 ounce or 1 minute of TV time. It's harmful to them, right?
Wow.
So, we're coming out with more and more of this information.
Right.
So, anyways,
Let the truth be known.
let the truth be known, 100%. And that's what we're all about,
Absolutely.
And you know what? Truth connects. You start measuring things, you get some truth here, truth there. Next thing becomes easier, and you start building all around truth. And then you see what is. I tell how people.
And
I
we
say
invite
this,
challenges too, right?
Oh, 100%. If you want to contact us, send us an email.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
absolutely.
But this is what I say: what is not, and what is not is. Right. So sometimes we're trying to, you see them trying to get rid of what really does work, because unfortunately, it's all about the money. So follow the money, and you can see what's happening, right? Yeah. And now there's a huge awakening, just like what we're doing here. We're trying to awaken the people. Guys, you can do better for yourself.
Right.
You don't have to suffer.
Right.
And you know what? The word disease,
just
think it's 2 words.
Dis-ease.
Dis and ease. Remember ease. When you're at ease, you're in balance. When you're in a disease, it just simply means you're out of balance.
Yeah.
And then they just throw a bunch of names to it. Okay, these are symptoms. Okay, but guess what? Again, going back to Hippocrates, let food be your medicine, and medicine be your food. That's what we're all about, guys. Like, you can do so much for yourself to do it.
Yeah.
So when we examine, if you pass me this little silver product over here, and
this right here?
Use that one there. Well, actually, it can be both of those.
Sure.
Okay, and then that one clear jar. So what we got here is products that are made.
Does it work on spider bites?
Oh, works on everything. Everything, literally. Silver. Now, gold, silver, right? Precious metal, okay? And they have value. They have real, true value, okay? But they're more valuable than just a coin or something made of jewelry out of silver, okay? And when you look back at ancient times in history, for thousands of years, thousands of years, where it's Ayurvedic, where it's the Romans, the Greeks, the Egyptians, all these ancient societies have been exposed and have used silver in one measure or another, knowing that this has actually, well, call it healing benefits or benefits to our bodies, okay? So it's bioavailable silver. And what are some of the problems that exist? Okay, we live in this world, this eco-friendly world. It can be, okay? The world can be friendly.
Are you sure?
Well, yes, okay. But it's only when we
participate.
When we get in that disease out of balance state, okay? So I always tell people the aquarium, watch the aquarium. When the water is clean, the water is pH balanced, it's clear, the fish is happy. Fish has lots of energy.
Yeah.
And when the water breaks down, what happens in the end? You see the
Fishes
fungus,
die.
or you see actually the algae, okay, which is anaerobic. Oxygen levels have depleted, and it gets taken over by the algae. Well, guess what? Same thing happens to us. We get dehydrated, our body becomes more acidic, and now we are actually producing our own, the nature of our body is just like the aquarium.
Right.
Okay, we become available for these things to manifest and live as
So that's where
right?
fungus and all that comes
Exactly,
from.
because you know, as we know, bacteria, they're all around us, right? Viruses are all around us, okay? But when we become the biological terrain for them to manifest, it's kind of like, hey, there's a good place to live, okay? And then they come and inhabit and they stay with us and they breathe with us because it becomes their home, right? So you like these unfriendly guests, right, that could actually work against you. Well, you open the doors by doing that. So staying in balance, of course, is key, right? But you know what? Life progresses, and not forever, and there's a certain level of degeneration, and maybe certain things will manifest. So what they have found is actually, and even up to recent, it's still used today, okay? Hospitals use silver band-aids, okay, to prevent bad wounds that don't heal, okay? Because silver has that ability, okay? It's antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, okay? So this, it's been proven in times past. I mean, they were giving people injections intramuscular, intravenous, and so on. And, you know, so even just, you know, topically, it works well. And got involved with a gentleman that was involved actually in engineering, and he was an electronics genius, an inventor of solar panels, and it was using
What was his name?
His name is Mladen. Yeah.
Okay.
And he used this silver substrate in his solar panel design. And anyways,
energy?
Yeah, of course, for energy, right? It's just the ways and means that silver gets activated with light. So it's, again, it's like everything in nature is there to help and benefit us once we start to realize the benefit and utilizing to our benefit, okay? And of course, with all the rest of nature in mind, right?
Yeah.
So we need to have our eyes open up that, you know, everything is created there for our benefit. But unfortunately, what we've done, we've destroyed and tried to remanufacture, because you know what? We're not happy. We don't alter the state of something and, like I said, denature our foods or whatever we're doing, right? Because we want to play God, you know? And we are creative human beings, but we can use it for the common good, or we can use it for
the good of all.
Good of all, right?
Absolutely.
And so, again, what we're talking about is to raise everybody up, right? It's just like when you bring water, you know, like the tide comes up. Doesn't matter if it's a leaf, it's a stick, it's a boat.
I'm certain when your body's in balance, your consciousness is probably...
Absolutely. Everything works together, right? So this is a whole waking up process, okay? So this product is pretty unique. It's grown, actually, in a certain way, but it uses silver. So it's an isotonic silver solution, unlike anything. It's not just a silver water or anything like that. We have that as well, okay? But this works so wonderful, and have been applying. Anybody I just see with a bunch of pimples says, hey, try this, right? And guess what? I do get a phone call the next day and they're saying, wow, what is this stuff? Like, it really works well, right? And psoriasis and eczema, and people have had it for 20, 30 years and so on. And again, they're trying to hide it and having to cover it up, right? It just becomes very, very uncomfortable.
Of course.
And it's, again, it's natural, it works.
What's the time span for it to work?
Anywhere from, sometimes seen people with pimples and I just give them just a little bit and says, you know what, dab it on your pimple, right? And after 10 minutes they say, something is happening there, right? 10 minutes they put a little bit more, and then they see the reactions, right? So half an hour after already begins to be noticeable.
Wow.
But you know, everybody's in a different situation.
Everybody's body's different.
Everybody's body's different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but put your hand here for a second. So what I do basically with people is I just tell them, you know, this stuff. You can see it's a very like in a gel type of state, and then we just rub it in and leave it in a layer. And when it stays moist and layered on it, it generates ions, okay, on the skin, and it immediately gets in the healing action. And if you can keep it moist like that, it's just phenomenal. It works for a long time, but if you leave it open, it now starts to evaporate, right, and dry out. So the best action you get when you keep moist. So with this particular product...
So not to rub it in.
Not to rub it in. Oh. Wrap it maybe, you know, of course you don't want to walk around with a piece of saran wrap on you, but when you're home in a more comfortable situation, wrap it around, prevents the air from drying it up, and you know, 6-8 hours it's still there, and you will see a difference. We have the gentleman in the room who's actually creating the video who had an
That's
experience
right.
with it last night.
That's
We put
right.
some on there about 9
Well,
o'clock last night.
I could say right now that it was itching, and when you put that on, it's
Immediately
now,
the itch is gone.
the
Yeah.
itch is not there right now.
I have a
So.
gentleman who owned a health food store. All the creams and lotions and potions that he's had for years, tried it on his whole elbow area, okay, was affected. And within 2 minutes he came back, he already can feel it working, right? So now I know that I'm going to get good and positive effects. So, you know, it's again, like, what is it worth? To some people, this is worth thousands of dollars because they've literally spent thousands of dollars on this. Already.
On trying
And,
to heal themselves, yeah.
you know, it's just new to us and what we're saying to people, like, you know, relative to how long you've been suffering, we just think the discomfort, the embarrassment that it might cause you, okay, if we can guarantee this to work for you and give you money back guarantee, it's worth at least $100. So
That's nothing.
it's nothing, right?
No, absolutely
And
not.
all we ask people to do, take a picture of whatever area you want to treat, okay? And before, put this on, and I know that within 24 hours, even less, there's some change happening. So certainly within a week or 10 days, you're going to have some good shifts, okay? So we have this available, and yes,
Absolutely.
it's $100, okay?
Money back guarantee.
Money back guarantee,
Okay.
100% money back guarantee. We totally have confidence in it. And then we've got some other wonderful products that use this sulfur base as well. And we've got certain lotion, like this one says HA, which stands for hyaluronic acid. It's in all your top of the line cosmetics that you might pay $400 or $500 for, okay? Very reasonable priced, but the base of it is this, but it's got other components like hyaluronic acid, DMAE, argan oil, very
What's
rare.
DMA? What's...
Well, these are components you find that the people look it up, okay? And the other thing is that it's 100% natural because silver acts as a preservative. In the old days, they would put it in the water. Milk, prior to refrigeration, they would add it to the milk. Wouldn't let the milk go bad, right? Again, it's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral.
How do they add silver to the water with the milk?
Actually, what they actually would they put coins, silver, pure silver coins in the water even.
Really?
Yeah. The Roman soldiers, in fact, when they would walk through an area where there might be a plague or something like that, they would take a silver coin and put it in their mouth and walk through to prevent them getting sick. So it's pretty amazing. But these wonderful combinations of products and well-known components in there, okay, have benefited the reactions I've got from people. For example, you know, ladies, but also men, they get the hanging skin here, right? Chicken skin, some people call it pig skin, whatever type of skin you want to call it, but you know, you want to firm that up, rub this in, this starts tightening up, so, you know, maybe double chin, start working in here. Then I had a testimonial from a lady, she was an ex-model, and you know, cellulite on the legs, it's not the prettiest thing that a lot of people would want to display, so.
It works for cellulite.
Works for cellulite, okay. She was using it for 2 weeks, a month, I think, forget exactly the time frame. And her comments is, guess what, I can wear my hot pants again. You know? So it's wonderful when you can be delivered from these things that affect you, and you could spend like literally thousands of dollars on, and we have some simple answers. So, you know, there's some combinations of things that we have here. And the nice thing about this is natural. Many products that you might find, it states even organic or natural. When you study the components, I'm teaching people, I'm telling people, and it's a real education to me too. Read your labels. What does it mean? What's actually in there? Don't get deceived by just a label, by a claim made on the label. Okay,
Right.
It's
learn about what
you're doing. So you want the best bang for your dollar. It's not about how much it is, but about
what value it has.
What value? Yeah. In the end, the value, the benefit you can get from that, right?
Absolutely.
And again, whenever you put on your skin, your largest organ, it can put things out. And that's of course when people have skin conditions, it's mostly what starts to manifest within the body, coming topically out, right? But whenever we're putting things on our skins, of course that absorbs it, and again it puts it back into our body. So skin is kind of like a two-way street. So we should be carefully in the soaps and the shampoos and all the other things that we're using on it, because that can allow just too many toxins, right? And whether you believe it or not, you know, the consequences over that, look at the statistics of cancer, you know, it's just huge. It's just increasing all the time. It's bypassing even, you know, heart attacks in terms of death rates. It's 56%, I believe, of people today are affected by cancer. Not everybody dies from cancer, but they're dealing with cancer, right?
Absolutely.
And why not prevent it, right? Prevention is the key. You know, when we get in a crisis, this is all of a sudden, it's devastating, and oh my God, how am I going to deal with it, and who should I be consulting?
We don't ever want to get there in the first place.
Don't even get there. So do everything to prevent it. That's the key. So that's what I've been promoting to people, been learning and teaching and so on, and helping people out for roughly 40 years now, right?
Wow.
And I just really believe as this becomes more true for me, right, what it's doing for me, because, you know, in 6 months I'll be 60, and, you know, that's, I can tell people.
I don't believe that, by the way.
So I definitely want to say, you can do the same thing, right? You do not have to age prematurely. There's a lot of things that you can overcome, but the number one thing, it starts with attitude, right? You know, what kind of an attitude do you have? It's not, sometimes people think, yeah, you know, what I know, you know, because so much of our programming has been all about making people money, and there's nothing wrong with money. We need money, but it needs to work for everybody, because money is just a simple exchange mechanism by which
it's energy.
It's energy, exactly, right? And it doesn't belong just in the hands of a few people, and that's unfortunately what's been happening. It's that people pulling it out, and you get 400 families that own 99% of the wealth.
Whatever happened to sharing? Didn't our parents all teach us that?
Yeah. When the kids were fighting, that's probably what they're still doing today. You know, see, we can be top dog here and take over, but. You know, it's nice to know that there is a big awakening happening, and, you know, let's get back into sharing, because you know what, you and I, we're all the same.
Absolutely,
it doesn't matter where we're from, which part, what color, what, you know, and so on, and we need to come to that real understanding, right? We're brothers and sisters, and you know what, we're the same, and let's get along, and let's help each other out.
Let's work together and grow together.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What else you have for me, Richard?
Well, I think that's what we're going to cover for today. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Richard. That was excellent. That was a lot.